And this is just a quick demonstration of some of the things that one might do with this. So, boy, stand over here. Username and password, you sign in one time only. Then every time you're using it, it knows who you are. You can go in and search Scopus, look at your citation alerts. In this particular example, there's 2. You can just do a regular search for, looks like asthma. You can just determine in what fields do I want this term to be located. That would be part of the search. In this one, I think it's just keeping it in the source title, just keeping it simple. When the search comes back, 50 different records are displayed, abstracts. And within each of those, it's exactly what you would want to see: the author, the journal, the citations, the abstract itself. So you can sit there and read it, figure out what it is. You can then save it to your favorites. And this is all offline. You can do this offline. Once it's added to the favorites, you can create a citation alert for that particular article. Yes, there it is. And then within the favorites list, I have 11 on this particular thing. Earlier on, I had some thoughts as I was reading this abstract, and I created a series of notes. You can go back into that, change the notes, save the notes. So while you're walking around, you can actually keep track of some thoughts related to the abstract, and you can email the whole thing back off to yourself if you choose. And I think that is the end of that demonstration, yes. So far, the numbers are a bit out of date. I talked to my colleague today. We launched it several months ago. I think there have been 7,000 downloads in 50 different iTunes stores. People are very happy about it. A comment at the bottom here says, "At last." And we got a lot of them like that, saying, "Why did it take so long? Please do this." So we've done it. But then there was a couple other ones where, what about Android? What about BlackBerry? I don't have an iPhone. I really want this on my other device. Can you put it on the iPad? And is this going to sync with my desktop? How do I keep track of all these things? So we've listened to that feedback and moved on. In the next release, all of these things are going to be addressed. So we just launched the Cyverse Science Direct free app. Again, it's on the internet. It's on iTunes. Download it right now if you have one, or when you get back to the hotel or whatever. This is doing this top 5 to 7 things that every researcher does when they're sitting at their desk. It's providing searching full Science Direct content. You can look at the entire article through HTML. You can have article feeds, alerts, share, and save the information. So just a couple of stats. Again, I just talked to my friend before I came here, and there are about 4,500 downloads. Back when we recorded this, it was a couple of months ago, I was looking at the percentage of 19% in Netherlands. And I was like, wait a minute. What is that? And it must be everybody in the Reed Elsevier building in Amsterdam downloading that thing. So a little bit skewed there, but those are the real numbers. So again, some similar things. It's online, offline access. You can have access to your articles. And then the Reaxys iPhone app. This is coming out in Q1 or Q2. Tim can talk a little bit more about this. But it's designed under the same premise. What do researchers do with Reaxys, the top 5 things that they do, and move it over to an app so that when they're on the move, they can have a look and use this. And so, this is how it's designed. There's some question about, are researchers really going to be looking for chemical structures while they're standing at the bus? I don't know. But this has been determined through a lot of research that it's important to the development of the research workflow. They want it, and whether it's fun or maybe it's just, I don't know. But so we're launching this in a couple quarters. And so this is just an overview of what's coming next in a very high level. Talk to you about the apps that are already out there. We will be creating a Scopus app for individual users who are not associated with any corporation or academic environment that will sell for $20. It will not have the full content functionality. We will release another version of the Science Direct free app, which will have downloadable PDFs onto the device. Right now it's a link out to an HTML. We will take Science Direct and Scopus apps from the iTunes Store across the different platforms, BlackBerry, Droid, over time. As I mentioned already, the Reaxis app. And then also, mid next year, we'll be optimizing the current apps so that they will work better on the iPad. So, in conclusion, I wanted to sort of bring this full circle for anyone in the room who's interested. If you have an Apple device and you want to do this, this is how you do it. You'll have to go to Science Direct or Scopus when you're within your range and create an account. Log in, make a password, make a user ID. We're not using the email for anything. We're not marketing or anything like that. It's just so that when you're sitting in this room today and you access the information, it knows who you are and that you're associated with Pfizer or Merck or GSK or whatever the case may be. You'll get an email back that says, here's your password, here's your login, this is how it works. You load it in one time into the app, as I showed you in the video earlier, and that's it. You don't need to use it ever again. So with that, I will say thank you very much for listening. I hope it didn't hurt too much. Tried not to make it hurt. And are there any questions? Yes?
Let me understand that last screen as somebody who thinks she has her Science Direct access limited to only through IP, and that users can't just take their, people who leave the company can't just take their Science Direct account. Change something, or?
No, it's not really, it doesn't relate to, I don't think it relates to that so much. It's that when an individual is inside of your institution, there's a VPN, there's a range, an IP range, so that when you log in, everybody knows. If you're sitting here, how would Apple or how would anyone know that you're actually associated with your institution?
Okay.
So when you're in the range, you sign up, get yourself a password, and so that when you're outside of the range, the application will work.
Okay, so let's say you work for me, you've done that within my range, and time passes on and you go work for our competitors.
Yeah.
How do I kill your account?
Yeah.
Because unlike you don't like my competitors.
Sitting here today, I don't know exactly, but how do you kill anyone's account?
Well, because the Science Direct access is IP only, you can't hit the IPs.
Just work for one
Yep.
company and have access
Yep.
to all lifetime.
Yeah. So sitting here today, I don't know specifically, but I can look into it and get back to you. Yeah, it's connected to the email account.
Yeah, but they don't use it, they don't verify it, so how did they find out?
I'm sure, although I don't know, but I am sure we have thought about this and figured it out. So I think what we end up doing, I believe, Petra, is we put some of these presentations somewhere so you can get to them later on. I'll make sure I address that and put that in the file of here's how this would work if that were to happen.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I can hear questions.
No? Okay. Great. Thank you.